Hello folks, and welcome to a new episode of Tech News, this time on a Wednesday. This is episode 17. Let's go ahead and jump in. First things first, I know many of you are looking forward to more Samsung news, so why don't we go ahead and start up with the Samsung Unpacked Event launch date. Now, I have already shared with you all in a previous episode that Samsung confirmed an Unpacked event scheduled for the end of July, which is of course this month. We do have reports that the said Unpacked event is set to be held specifically on the 27th of July, which is the 27th of this month. So for those of you looking to purchase the next generation of Samsung premium mobile devices, that's the date to look forward to in order to pre-order. Now, this of course will include the upcoming Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 series, which, as I have previously shared with you all, will include three models. The Galaxy Tab S9, of course, which is the default or the regular model. I just call it the regular Galaxy Tab S9. Then we have the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus, which is going to be the successor to the current Tab S8 Plus, for those of you interested in picking up the middle child. And of course, we will finally have the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, and that's going to be the second iteration of this particular model. All three models will have a number of upgrades when compared to the previous model or the current model, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 series here. And these upgrades will be both physical, meaning cosmetically or hardware related, as well as internal, right? So software related. Now, I've already shared a lot of details on this in previous videos, in previous tech news videos, right? So make sure to check those out. Things like the new chipset from Qualcomm, made in close collaboration between Qualcomm and Samsung, right? So the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 made specifically for Galaxy is going to be what's going to be loaded in these bad boys here. You also have a new and, slightly different cosmetic look, on those tablets, the tablet display that we will now have on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9, the dust and water resistant, the new S Pen capability, and a lot more. And again, make sure that you go ahead and watch the previous tech news episodes that I made on these if you are interested in learning more about what's going to be loaded in the next or the upcoming iteration of the Samsung flagship tablets. But anyway, so the event will be held in South Korea, and this will be a first, the very first time that this is being held in South Korea. And this same event will also see the launch of the new Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 series, which is bound to feature the return, of the beloved physical rotating bezel. Essentially that same one, or similar to what we saw with the Galaxy Watch Classic 4. Now, remember, the current Galaxy Watch series does include a rotating bezel as well, except it is a digital rotating bezel. So it definitely will be nice to hear again those very satisfying clicks that you hear when physically rotating the bezel like we used to do with the Galaxy Watch Classic 4, right? So it's going to be nice to have that on the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 Classic there. Now, all of this being said, this Watch 6 series will not see the return of the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro model, unfortunately, which is the watch that I've actually been wearing since it first dropped. It's unfortunate again because the battery on this bad boy is actually a beast. It's a pretty good battery. My hope is that they make the battery on the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic to be as good, or at least come close to what you have on the Watch 5 Pro here. But at the same time, I'm being a realist because, based off of the leaks that we've seen and some of the stuff that's been confirmed, these watches will see the regular or the standard size battery that these smart watches typically have, which is a shame, right? Because they typically will push 2 days max, if you just go ahead and wear that regular. But let's hope they go ahead and do something different with the Galaxy Watch Classic 6 specifically. But anyway, next year, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8FE or the Tab S9FE. If you remember, I actually covered this. I actually made an entire tech news episode specifically covering this with actual details of some of the stuff that leaked, online on this upcoming series. Now, unfortunately, since then, we haven't received or we haven't seen any additional leaks, right? We know for a fact that Samsung has been working on this series for sure. In fact, we've seen, their code names appear online along with their, Geekbench test results, along with a lot more details that, again, I covered in that particular episode of tech news here. So all of this to say that Samsung has definitely been working on it. In fact, they should be done working on this guy here, but we haven't heard anything else since then. We know for a fact that it's been confirmed that there will be two models, right? For this particular series, the large 12.4 inches and the smaller one, which are going to be the successors to the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7FE and the 2022 Tab S6 Lite, respectively. Now, I have stumbled upon, talks of this particular series being pushed all the way up to the fall, which will be, I guess, a few months from today, but that's just random rumors online. We still don't know. There may still be a chance of a one more thing being added to the upcoming event, right? So during the Samsung Unpacked event, they may have something with, that they call a one more thing, like, Steve Jobs used to do, where maybe they announce this, but don't put all of your hopes on that just yet. As soon as I hear something new, I definitely will make sure that I cover that in another tech news episode for you. Now, finally, of course, during this event, we will see the unveiling of the next generation of the Galaxy foldables. Now, many of you may not go out there to pick up one of these foldables, but just be aware that the Flip 5 along with the Fold 5 are also set to be launched this month. Samsung, of course, confirmed this, and we've seen the design directly from Samsung, the new design, or slightly new design in the case of the Fold, from Samsung, along with additional spec information on these upcoming devices. I did cover these two as well in the previous, tech news episodes, so make sure to check out those episodes if you are interested in learning more about what's going to be loaded in these two devices. Now, as we come close to the end of this episode, just be aware that, future episodes I will be covering, I'll be making it a little bit more diverse and cover other brands a bit more, and of course including something like the upcoming iPhone 15. Now, I've gone pretty heavy into upcoming Galaxy Tab simply because the event is actually pretty close, so that was a pretty good reason to cover all that stuff, also because many of you have requested for me to do so. Anyway, I think this is all I had for this edition of Tech News. I will have more on the next episode, of course, meaning that I will stay updated so that you are updated. Up until that next episode, of course, as always, stay safe out there.